2 of my cinematography breakdowns, and this time we're going to be taking a look at another independent short film. This one is entitled La Espera, and it is in Spanish, written and directed and starring a very good friend of mine, Natasha Dabalia. We collaborated on this piece and designed it to be shot in a single day. I mean, she wrote the script in an afternoon and we shot it, I think, 2 weeks later. It's a single location, 2 actors, and we just wanted to create something very simple that we could produce and do a good job of for a very minimal budget. With that being said, let's get stuck in. So the film opens with a title card over some props, and we then, on this wide slider shot, pulling out to reveal one of our main characters who is waking up in bed. So in terms of lighting on this wide, what have we got? We have got practical, 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 and these are giving us this kind of shape here. And then over here, out of shot, we have a Falcon Eyes, or it might have been an Amran. It would have been an Amran 2x2 panel up here, and that's just giving us all that kind of level, and we've got the grid on it to try and keep it off the walls and just give us as much of a lift back over here as possible. So here we're into a close-up. So this, he's just sat up in bed, and what we've basically got is we've got that same softbox light, the 2x2 Amran, which is pushing all of this level here, and it's getting us our little catch light in the eyes. And then on this side of the frame, we've got a bit of neg dropped in. I believe that's a 1x1 that we've just dropped in on this side, just to give us a bit of shape there, because as you can see, the light's quite direct because we're not really getting that Rembrandt triangle as much as we'd like. And as you can see, the nose shadow is very neatly tucked in, just that tiny little shadow there. So we could have done with backing the light off in this direction a little more to make that more pronounced, but we didn't have any space because it was a small hotel room, so hence the neg on this side to kind of accentuate that contrast. We've got this little setup by the window that we're just going to scrub through. So we've got our sort of our mid-wide here, and essentially all we've got in play for this is we've got the window itself, which is verging on burnt out, because we didn't have that much level in the room, enough to compete with this. So we've kind of accepted we're going to lose that a little bit, and we kind of don't want to see what's outside anyway, and that's giving us all this level on him here. And then in the room, itself, lifting the level, we've got that 2x2 mat, and it's kind of facing back this way, but bouncing up into the ceiling, just to kind of give us a little bit of level in the room, not to compete with the outside, but just to try and balance us out a little bit where possible. And then we go into this sort of mid shot here, where he is on the phone and having a cigarette. And again, it's literally the same setup as the previous one. We've got the window, which is giving us all of this sort of level here. And then out of shot over here, we've got the panel, which is just bouncing up into the ceiling, and it's giving us a little bit of wrap and level here. And then this warm light here, we're seeing that's just practical, playing on the back of his neck. Again, really, really simple stuff, but we're just trying to keep it quick and easy, light and breezy. We let the room play slightly warmer. We wanted it to feel warm and have almost sepia tones inside. So you've got that nice cool blue light from the outside coming in and playing against the warm room. So now we're getting into the dialogue a little bit. We've got Natasha's character who comes and sits down, and then a conversation between these two guys. So here, he's back on the bed. We've got the practicals that are in play again, which are giving him this kind of outline here. We've then got our 2x2 panel pushing all this level onto his face here, but no catchlight this time because we've gone a little bit higher on the panel. And our contrast ratio is a little softer this time compared to earlier. I don't think we've got any neg here. I think this is just how the room was playing based on ambient light that was bouncing back from the key light. And then moving on to the reverse, we've got this shot of Natasha. Again, it's really simple stuff. So we've got the window, which is giving us a little bit of level. We've got the 2x2 panel out of shot, which is giving us all this level here, and you can see in her eye we've got that really soft catch light. And again, just letting it fall off into darkness on this side of the face. It would have been nice to get a bit of separation here. If I'd had more time, more lights, we probably would have put a backlight in just to give her a little bit of something from that direction, which might have felt a little unmotivated because the window's over here, but it would have been nice to get that degree of separation there. So we've got a little bit of shot reverse shot here, these two playing off against each other, a little bit of dialogue. Natasha's character stands up. She's trying to leave at this point and is intercepted. And then this setup, we kind of have this two shot here that then goes into a couple of OTS singles. And again, lighting for this, it's that one light all the way through this, that 2x2 panel that's giving us all of this. And again, you can see the panel there in the catch light because I had to back it up a little bit, so it's playing slightly harder than it was in the previous set of shot reverse shot, so you can actually see the shape of it a little more, but it is giving us slightly more shape. As we can see, we're starting to get that Rembrandt triangle a little bit more, and then we're just letting this side of the face just play darker. So again, super simple stuff. It's one light, it's a room, it's two characters. You can't get much more simple. And then what we did here was, for his single, we're letting him play a little bit darker. So as you can see, like we are super dark on this side of the face. Like there's no catch light in the eyes. We've again got that panel just over here, and it is giving us all this level on this side. And then we've got the practicals, which are playing just here, just to give us a little bit of something from that side. But this side of the face is playing super dark because he's the darker character out of the two, and he's sort of the antagonist, so it does kind of work in that sense. And then there's a little bit of a time skip. We're into Natasha. She's in the bathroom. This is sort of after their argument. And it essentially becomes another set of shot reverse shot. So this was a tricky one to light actually, because the bathroom was a very tight space. So what we've got is, in the bath, you can guess, we've got that 2x2 panel again, which is giving us all this. And we tried to clock it round this way far enough just to get some semblance of shape here. And we're not quite Rembrandt, but we do have shape, we have texture. So considering the space we're in and how limited it is, quite happy with how this turned out. And then we'll have a little look at his shot. So he starts up high and then he does sink down to this kind of thing. And then what we've actually got here is, you can see the window in this one is playing and giving us some level, and you can see it a lot on the wall. But what we've got is we've got a tube light. There's like a shelving unit here just out of shot, and we've got a tube light sitting on there that's kind of giving us a little bit of level and texture here. But again, he's playing quite dark, but we were kind of okay with that, letting him play a little bit darker in this moment, and for most of this short, just because of his character. And then we've got this OTS in the bathroom, which is super tight, and we had the door open for this, but again we've got our favourite 1x1 panel that's sort of pushing light from this direction, and you can see the reflection on the ring there, and it's just to give us a little bit of level on this. There's then like this reverse shot, which is taken from the back of the scan, and again, it's the lighting setup is exactly the same. We've just got that panel pushing in all the level here and letting this side of the face just play darker. This was just a quick pickup moment just to get her eyeline to the scan. So we come into this shot here. This is towards the end of the film. We've got this little sequence where he goes to the window. But first we're going to talk about this. So this is almost a mirror image of the shot of him sitting up in bed earlier, and that was intentional. We wanted it to feel like it kind of starts and ends in the same place. So again, lighting wise, we've got our wall practicals, we've got our little desk lamp here that are just giving us all of this kind of stuff and giving us that little outline there on the back of Natasha. We've got our trusty 2x2 panel out of shot, which is pushing all of this level onto her, and we've got the highlight and our little Rembrandt triangle, and we're just letting this all kind of drop off into darkness. And again, really simple, one light, a couple of practicals doing their thing, and I think this looks pretty good. This is one of my favourite frames in the film because it's nice, it mirrors what transpires earlier. And then we've got like the reverse of this, which is a little bit more going on lighting wise. So we've got again our trusty 2x2, which is just pushing all of this sort of level here, and you can kind of just see the catch light there. We're letting all of this kind of just drop off into darkness, and then we have in the window, and I've had a lot of people at screenings ask me how we did this, because they were like, how did you get that light outside? And all it is really is we've got a tube light just down here propped against the window, which is pushing all that blue light up towards him, and you can see it under his brow here, you can see it catching him under the chin, and we wanted it to feel like essentially there's police outside, which I think we kind of get away with. So that is it, a very quick breakdown of La Espera. It was essentially one light, a couple of practicals with a tube light thrown in the mix occasionally, 6 to 8 hours in a hotel room, and we made a short film. Pretty happy with how it's turned out. There's always nitpicky little things that with more time, more space, more grip equipment you could really sort of get into and perfect. But generally pretty happy with this one. This was shot in 2022, I believe, if I remember correctly. So yeah, interesting to look back on. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for this one, guys. I will catch you in the next one.